My comment is about implicit bias training in the district. Implicit bias is often measured by the implicit association test. The theory is we can measure unconscious bias against blacks. This bias causes discriminatory behavior, which causes black disadvantage. Training aims to make people aware of their unconscious racism and avoid racist behavior. The IAT fails on both measures of test acceptability. Reliability is 0.44, far below the minimum reliability of 0.8 or 0.7. Validity also fails. The test creators admit there is no correlation between unconscious racism, as measured by the IAT, and discriminatory behavior. Psychologists and neuroscientists also inform us there is no clear divide between conscious and unconscious thought. Proponents of unconscious bias training seem not to notice that there has been preferential hiring and admissions to colleges for blacks for a long time. We are to believe that if a competitively qualified black female teacher walked into Worthington schools, a recruiter would unconsciously find reasons not to hire her, so as to hire an inferior white male. In fact, such a candidate would be snapped up in an instant by every school in the country. Yet, despite years of preferential hiring, blacks are still not proportionately represented in the professions. Alas, you can read through scores of implicit bias studies and never come across the primary reason, the academic skills gap. One example, the average black score on the math SAT in 2015 was 428, the average white score 534, the average Asian 598. Among top scorers, 60% were Asian, 33% white, 2% black. Among the lowest scores, 6% were Asian, 21% white, 35% black. Proponents of preferential treatment based on skin color claim the SATs are culturally biased and don't measure actual cognitive skills. If that were the case, blacks would do better in college than their SAT scores predict. In fact, they do worse. Low math scores reflect actual difficulty with math. The math achievement gap will affect hiring in many fields. In 2016, less than 4% of all PhDs in computer science and engineering went to blacks. Yet, Silicon Valley blames their own implicit bias for the racial composition of their workforce. If American blacks developed habits relevant to economic success, school attendance, paying attention in class, doing homework, studying for exams, avoiding crime and out-of-wedlock childbearing, the academic gap would narrow. Perhaps focusing on subject matter and teaching these habits would be more helpful than focusing on victimhood and division by skin color. America has an appalling history of racism. We should be vigilant against recurrence. But the most influential sectors of our economy practice preferences in favor of blacks. The main cause of disadvantage lies not in implicit bias, but in academic achievement, largely as a consequence of culture and behavior. And you are in the lucky position where you can do something about it if you address the real problem. Thank you.